Duke of Northumberland is a noble title that has been created 3 times in English and British history, twice in the Peerage of England and once in the Peerage of Great Britain. The current holder of this title is Ralph Percy, 12th Duke of Northumberland. 1551 creation. The title was first created in the Peerage of England in 1551 for John Dudley, 1st Earl of Warwick. He had already been created Viscount Lisle in 1543 and Earl of Warwick in 1547, also in the Peerage of England. In 1553, Dudley advanced the claim of his daughter-in-law, Lady Jane Grey, to the English throne, but when she was deposed by Queen Mary I, Dudley was convicted of high treason and executed. An illegitimate son of one of his younger sons, Robert Dudley, 1st Earl of Leicester, Sir Robert Dudley, claimed the dukedom when in exile in Italy. On March 9, 1620 the Emperor Ferdinand II officially recognised the title, an act which infuriated James I of England. 1683 creation. George Fitzroy, 1st Earl of Northumberland, an illegitimate son of King Charles II, was created Duke of Northumberland in the Peerage of England in 1683. He had already been created Baron of Pontefract, Viscount Falmouth and Earl of Northumberland in 1674, also in the Peerage of England. However, all the titles became extinct on his death in 1716 as he left no heirs. Jacobite creation. In 1716 Philip Wharton, 1st Duke of Wharton, was created Duke of Northumberland, together with other subsidiary titles in the Jacobite peerage, by the Old Pretender. The title had no legal validity in the Kingdom of Great Britain. 1766 creation. The title was created for the 3rd time in 1766 for Hugh Percy, 2nd Earl of Northumberland, the former Sir Hugh Smithson, 4th Baronet, who had assumed by Act of Parliament in 1750 for himself and his descendants the surname Percy, due to his having married in 1740 the daughter of Algernon Seymour, 7th Duke of Somerset, whose mother Lady Elizabeth Percy, was the last of the senior bloodline of the ancient House of Percy, being the only surviving child of Jocelyn Percy, 11th Earl of Northumberland. In 1749 King George II created Algernon, who had inherited the dukedom of Somerset in 1748, Earl of Northumberland and by courtesy titled Baron Warkworth, of Warkworth Castle in the county of Northumberland, with special remainder to his son-in-law Sir Hugh Smithson, 4th Baronet. The above steps formed a deliberate move to allow ancient names and titles of the Percys to be revived in the male heir-exhausted senior branch of the Dukedom of Somerset, which at the time was about to see its largest removal, to another noble but very cadet branch on Algernon's death. Algernon was also created Earl of Egremont at the same time with a different remainder. See this article for further information. In 1784 the first Duke was also granted the substantive title Lord Louvain, Baron of Alnwick in the county of Northumberland, in the Peerage of Great Britain, with remainder to his second son Lord Algernon Percy, who succeeded and who was created Earl of Beverley in 1790, and thus it too became a courtesy title. The Duke was succeeded in the dukedom and associated titles by his eldest son, Hugh, the second Duke, a lieutenant general in the British Army. The second Duke was in his turn succeeded by his eldest son, Hugh, the third Duke, who in 1812, 5 years before he succeeded in the dukedom, had been summoned to the House of Lords through a writ of acceleration in his father's junior title of Baron Percy. The third Duke later held office as Lord Lieutenant of Ireland from 1829 to 1830. He was childless and was succeeded by his younger brother, Algernon, 1st Baron Prideaux, the fourth Duke, who in 1814 had been created Baron Prideaux, of Prideaux Castle in the county of Northumberland, in the Peerage of the United Kingdom. The fourth Duke was an admiral in the Royal Navy and notably served as First Lord of the Admiralty in 1852. He was also childless, and on his death in 1865 the barony of Prideaux became extinct, while the barony of Percy was inherited by his great-nephew, John Stuart Murray, 7th Duke of Athol. The admiral was succeeded in the dukedom and remaining titles by his first cousin, George, the second Earl of Beverley, eldest son of the second son of the first Duke. The barony of Louvain and earldom of Beverley have since been merged in the dukedom as courtesy titles. The fifth Duke was succeeded by his eldest son, Algernon, the sixth Duke, who notably served as Lord Privy Seal between 1879 and 1880 under Lord Beaconsfield. The 6th Duke's eldest son, Henry, the 7th Duke, was summoned to the House of Lords through a writ of acceleration in his father's junior title of Lord Louvain in 1887. The 7th Duke's eldest son, Henry Percy, Earl Percy, predeceased him. He was succeeded by his 4th but eldest surviving son, Alon, the 8th Duke, whose eldest son, Henry, the 9th Duke, was killed during the retreat to Dunkirk during the Second World War. Henry was succeeded by his younger brother, Hugh, the 10th Duke. In 1957, on the death of his 4th cousin once removed, James Stuart Murray, 9th Duke of Atholl, Hugh succeeded as 9th Baron Percy, the title thus re-merging with the dukedom. As of 2012 the titles are held by his second son, Ralph, the 12th Duke, who succeeded on the death of his elder brother in 1995. Other members of the Percy family. Several other members of the Percy family have also gained distinction. James Smithson, illegitimate son of the 1st Duke, was a chemist and mineralogist and the founding donor of the Smithsonian Institution. Charlotte Percy, Duchess of Northumberland, wife of the 3rd Duke, was governess of the future Queen Victoria. Lord Jocelyn Percy, second son of the 5th Duke, was a politician. Lord Henry Percy, third son of the 5th Duke, was a soldier. Lord Algernon Percy, second son of the 6th Duke, was a politician. Lord Eustace Percy, 7th son of the 7th Duke, was a politician who was raised to the peerage as Baron Percy of Newcastle in 1953. Jane Percy, Duchess of Northumberland, wife of the 12th Duke, is Lord Lieutenant of Northumberland since 2009. See also Earl of Beverley for younger sons of the 1st Earl of Beverley. Family residences. The seat of the Dukes of Northumberland is Alnwick Castle, which is located in Alnwick, Northumberland. The family's London residence is Sion House in Brentford, which replaced, as their London residence, the demolished Northumberland House in the Strand. The traditional burial place of the Dukes is the Northumberland Vault in Westminster Abbey in London, the Percys thus being the last family to maintain such a privilege. Their family vault is however nearly full, and a new private graveyard has been created in Hune Park near Alnwick. List of title holders. Dukes of Northumberland. First creation equals Dukes of Northumberland. Second creation equals Earls of Northumberland. Fifth creation equals Dukes of Northumberland. Third creation equals the heir apparent is the present holder's elder son George Percy, Earl Percy. Family tree. Ducal pipers. Since at least the mid-18th century, the family has maintained a Northumbrian piper. The earliest known of these was Joseph Turnbull, who was painted in 1756 playing his pipes. The portrait, entitled Joseph Turnbull, Piper to the Duchess of Northumberland, is at Alnwick Castle. At this time, before the third creation of the dukedom, he would actually have been Piper to the Countess. A later Piper, William Green, stated that Joe Turnbull was the first Piper at Alnwick Castle that was ever. A list of the ducal pipers is at. The present ducal piper is Richard Butler. The piper's main duty is to play at the Shrove Tuesday football match in Alnwick. Other pipers have been associated less formally with the family. The notorious piper James Allen was a favourite of the Countess. In the last century, Tom Clough is known to have played for the Duke and his guests at Alnwick. One such guest was Edward Severn, in 1905. See also, Alnwick Castle, the family's main residence, Alnwick Garden, adjacent to Alnwick Castle, Sion House, the family's residence in the London area, Northumberland House, the family's former residence in central London, Northumbrian Tartan. In popular culture, Sir Henry Percy, popularly known as Harry Hotspur, is portrayed as a dashing hero by William Shakespeare in his historical play Henry IV, Part 1. Sir Henry was the eldest son and heir apparent of the first Earl of Northumberland and would have succeeded his father if not for his untimely death at the Battle of Shrewsbury. Lord Percy Percy, played by Tim McInerney, is a major character in the first two series of the British sitcom Blackadder. In the first series, He is the Duke of Northumberland, while the Lord Percy in the second series is presumably his descendant and is heir to the dukedom. Coincidentally, the first series was partly filmed at Alnwick Castle, the residence and seat of the real Duke of Northumberland. References: An online Gotha Euro Northumberland, Cracroft's Peerage page, European heraldry page. External links: Alnwick Castle website, Alnwick Garden website, Northumberland Estates website, Sion House website.